Hi, I'm Manjusha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a few cereal based recipes that I make for my baby, and I usually make it in a batch and in very lesser quantities because I prefer to make fresh as much as possible, but I can make like cereal every day. So just like max for a week or two, and if I'm just making one cereal, then I make it in a larger quantity. So these cereals are extremely nutritious. So the idea here is to give my baby different cereals different day, so she won't be fed up with the same taste every day, and it will be appetizing, interesting for her, and super nutritious for her as well. And I hope that it will be helpful to others as well, because there was a time when I was like scratching my head, and then our mother, aunts, friends, everyone helped me. So these are a few cereal based recipes I would like to share with you all. So let me show you how.
I have taken a cup of ragi and I have washed it twice under water and drained off all the water. Now I am going to spread it on a plate like this and keep it under sun until it is completely dried. Then I preheat an iron kadhai on low flame for a few minutes and then roast any cereal so that it will roast it fast and properly. Then I dry roast it on low to medium flame for a few minutes until it becomes little crispy and aromatic in an iron kadhai. Iron kadhai, it enhances the iron properties of the food prepared in it. Just we have to make sure that it doesn't get burnt. Keep on sauteing the ragi and always keep an eye. So once done, put off the flame and let it cool, and then I grind it into a very fine powder as much as possible. And then I sieve it further for a very fine powder. And then I store it in an airtight sterilized pot. So that's how I make ragi cereal powder. Next I have 1 cup of oats. I am going to dry roast it on a low to medium flame until it becomes slightly stiff, little crispy and aromatic, and then I put off the flame and let it cool. And since it is oats, I grind it in my blender itself, since it doesn't have to be really a fine powder consistency. Coarse powder will do. And that's it. Then I store it in an airtight sterilized bottle. That's how I make oat cereal powder. Next is brown rice cereal powder. I prefer brown rice than the white rice because of its high iron content and fiber, etc. So I have 1 cup of brown rice. I have washed it twice under water and drained off all the water. And then I spread it on a plate and put it under sun to completely dry it. Then I dry roast it in my iron kadhai on low to medium flame until it becomes stiff and aromatic. Then I grind it in my grinder into a fine to semi-coarse powder consistency and store it in an airtight sterilized bottle. That's how I make my brown rice cereal powder. Next I have this super grain quinoa. So I have taken about 1 cup of quinoa. I have washed it like twice under water and drained off all the water. Then I am going to spread it on a plate and put it under sun to completely dry it. Then I dry roast it in my iron kadhai until it becomes little crispy, stiff and aromatic. And then I grind it in my grinder into a fine powder consistency and store it in my airtight sterilized bottle. That's how I make quinoa cereal powder. Next is Koi. It's a type of puff rice. All I'm going to do is dry roast it on low to medium flame. It can burn really fast, so saute very carefully. And once it is done, allow it to cool a bit, not too much, or they will soften up and it will be very difficult to powder. And then grind immediately into a coarse or fine powder consistency and store it in an airtight sterilized bottle. Next is brown flattened rice or poha in Hindi, aval in Malayalam. So just like koi, all I'm going to do is dry roast it in my iron kadhai on low to medium flame until it becomes crisp, and then let it cool a bit and then grind it into a very fine powder consistency and store it in an airtight sterilized bottle. That's it. My poha or aval rice cereal powder is ready to use. Finally, I have 1 cup of puff rice here, and all I'm going to do what I did with koi or the poha, dry roast it on low to medium flame in my kadhai until it becomes crisp, and it has a tendency to burn really fast, so saute it carefully and allow it to, once done, allow it to cool off only a bit, not too much, or it will soften up and it will be very difficult to powder it. And then grind immediately into coarse or fine powder consistency, and then I store it in my airtight sterilized bottle. That's how I make my puff rice cereal powder.